Traverse City Central, De La Salle in the Division II state championship game we've been waiting for all year. Down to the sidelines we go again, and Brooke Fletcher.
Head coaches Eric Sugars and Dan Roan are going head-to-head here today, but this isn't the first time that they've crossed paths. In fact, they actually grew up just 6 blocks away from each other. They both went to Orchard View High School. Now, they were 6 years apart, so they didn't really run in the same friend groups, but one thing for sure is that they have a mutual respect for one another. Coach Roan actually has a really great relationship with the Sugar family that we'll get into later on in this game. And Coach Roan said if he had to choose any opponent to go up against, he's glad that it's his old classmate, guys.
Brooke, it's a small world after all, like that ride at Disney World tells us. Sugars and Roan meeting on a football field in downtown Detroit with the state championship on the line. Traverse City Central has made the drive from up north in white. Those pilots of De La Salle in purple. Sharon Sutton II back deep. Everett Noyes, the 6-foot senior kicker, who is honestly moonlighting as a football player. He is more known as a soccer star for the Trojans. 12-1 Traverse City Central. 12-0 Warren De La Salle for a D2 state championship. And Rozier, another man back deep, fields for the Pilots inside the 5. Number 44 is going to barely reach the 20. The special teams surge for Traverse City Central means that Brady Drogosh and the Warren De La Salle Pilots are going to have to start in not ideal field position. Rob, you were just talking in the open about Brady Drogosh and all the different things he can do to keep you off balance defensively. So what is the key for Traverse City Central? How do they try to rattle this guy today?
Contain him. Don't let him get outside with his speed. You got to bring numbers, rally the ball, and tackle with many white jerseys as you can get there.
Over 1,300 passing yards, 12 touchdowns for Brady. He's also run for 23. Just for good measure. He'll start with a throw, and the pass is caught right into the waiting hands and arms of Jack Janacek. We're going to see his name a lot today. This is a very talented De La Salle Pilots offense. They're scoring just about 40 points per game. You just saw Janacek, number 22, on the first catch. There are a lot of talented guys on that offensive line, an offensive line that starts 4 seniors. Keep an eye on the slot guy, Tristan Nichols. He has 7 touchdowns this year. Josh running for the first time with room, and De La Salle's got its first down of the ball game. Josh Klug makes the tackle for Traverse City Central. Another baseball star. We've seen a lot of those on our Football Fridays. Klug is going to Louisville. He already throws a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. A lot of beef on that defensive line as well. Caden Warner is going to Saginaw Valley State, number 71. Drogosh swings it out far side, and it's caught again. There's Nichols, but for no gain. And the Trojans swarm to the ball nicely defensively.
A nice job by Josh Klug coming up. It's all about recognition. When someone tries to do this quick screen game outside, how quick can you recognize as a defensive back and get up into it? Klug did a great job.
He already throws a 90-mile-per-hour fastball as a junior in high school. Going to play college baseball at Louisville is not a bad game. Rozier, his first run, and it's going nowhere. They push him backward. Josh Klug is all over the place right now.
Right here, this is what you're going to do. You're going to get penetration. You get into the gap, use your speed, beats the block of the offensive tackle. That time, Tavon Mixon gets in there. Penetration. You want to break any run game down, Evan? Just get penetration.
3rd down and long for De La Salle. Josh Klug has already made 3 tackles, and we're 2 minutes in.
We're heavy this side now. You got trips out here. Maybe some type of rub route inside, maybe a pick. Watch for the number 3 inside guy coming out.
Drogosh throwing on a slant, and it's caught for the first down. Janacek again. That's his 2nd catch of the drive. Gain of 12.
You've seen the versatility of Drogosh already in his first drive with a nice run early on in the series, and that time he throws a slant route, and this is a beautiful ball. People think this is an easy throw, but you got to lead it. You got to let the guy get it in stride, and what he does, and you do that, and your receivers love you.
Janacek was such a focal point for Brady Drogosh on the De La Salle offense last week. 5 catches and 80 yards. And he keeps, and he gets back to the line, barely. Josh Klug has made 4 tackles already.
He's had a good game already in the first series,
I'd say.
And you see it, the penetration of Josh is able to get inside using his quickness. Not that big, 6 foot 185, the junior, but he is very quick. He's able to get into some seams and beat those big offensive linemen. When they're trying to zone block, they're all stepping. He's getting in there and making the play.
Rozier tries the middle. This one a little bit better. Burnham wrangles him down after a solid gain for Rozier. That's a big, important gain for De La Salle. You still got most of your playbook open on a 3rd down 4.
Yeah, you picked up a nice gain there. Now it's 3rd down and 4. You're De La Salle. You've already shown you're pretty good in the short passing game. You run a slant as well, complete to Janacek's. So everything is open here. Also, you have a quarterback that's very versatile running the ball.
They will run it with Drogosh, and he's got the 1st down with ease. Big, long strides for the junior quarterback into Traverse City Central territory.
That's Dan Roan, head coach of De La Salle 101. Quarterback power, you're going to see. They're going to take everyone to zone. Actually, it was zone block. It wasn't a power play where they just zone and stretch. But he gets the backs in front of him to lead through, moves the sticks. Nice drive so far for the Pilots.
It's taken up nearly 4 minutes in this first quarter already. Give to Alton McCullum. Bouncing back to the inside and gaining a good chunk on 1st down.
Something you need to look at in this drive is the success that De La Salle has had on 1st down. When you have those good 1st down plays, it just sets everything up in the rest of the series for you because it makes it manageable. You hear that all the time, but it is so true. Now, offensive coordinators love when it's 2nd and 5 or less.
We have right now exactly a 2nd and 5. Drogosh trying the left side this time. A good patient run, and he's loose. Brady Drogosh inside the 5. Conrad Dobreff made the touchdown-saving tackle, but they can't contain Drogosh right now.
You're going to watch, they're going to get the big guys out in front, and then they take the motion to help seal the edge. That's a nice job being physical up front by Rhett Rozier. And they're letting Drogosh do what he does. That's run the football. Nice job, offensive line. I talked in the open about Central's offensive line, but De La Salle's offensive line really controlling the front.
Got Rozier on a direct snap. Running left. And he didn't get there. Do you like direct snaps like this close to the goal line?
I'm not a big fan because if I have Drogosh as my quarterback, he's a really good runner. When you bring in Rozier, you put him in the Wildcat as the quarterback, you limit yourself to 2 things. Either he's going to keep it or he might give it on the underneath handoff, but the fear of the pass isn't really there.
They'll run it again. And Rozier is not in again. Warner and Klug combine on the tackle.
Josh Klug, who's taking himself out right here, helmet issue, he just does a great job of knifing in, getting penetration quickly, and getting Rozier before he can get going. You know, I say that all the time, man. You get that back before you can really get going downhill, you have a much better opportunity to get the stop here. Big 3rd and 1.
This is the 13th play of the opening drive. Rhett Rozier. Yes, touchdown, De La Salle.
We're going to take a look here. They've run it 3 times in a row. This is just power. You're leading through, and Rozier's just going to follow the other 2 backs, the offensive line. There's no trapping. There's no pulling. It's just helmet on helmet, trying to get a little push. Not much there, Central, but just enough. And then you see the conversion. Traverse City Central takes an early 7-0 lead, Evan, but what an opening drive. That Dan Roan, that's just beautiful. If you're a head coach, you say, this is what we're looking for. We're going to take one more look. And you're going to see right here, they're trying to get pushed. They don't get a lot, but they're also going to get the 2 backs leading through. Let it go. They don't get a lot of push, so you got Burnham in there really trying to hold his Warner's in there as well, but he gets just enough to get in the end zone. Took 3 plays from the 2 or 3 yard line, so that's a plus of your Traverse City Central. Defense coordinator say, listen, I know they scored, but we held up pretty well when they got our backs up against the end zone. But if you're Dan Rowan calling the plays, you got to be happy with that opening drive. 7 points, and there's Coach Sugar saying, all right, now it's our turn. Let's see if we can hold serve.
We knew there'd be a lot of running in this ball game when you got Rozier, Drogosh for De La Salle, and you're going to see Josh Burnham direct an offense for Traverse City Central that uses jet motion very well. A 13-play drive for De La Salle to start the game. That's quite the opening statement. You don't often see a lot of 6'4", 235-pound quarterbacks at the high school level, but we're about to see Josh Burnham shine. You also don't see a lot of kickers wearing number 96, but that's the number Cody Cummings wears. Carson Bordeaux back deep. He has returned 3 kicks for touchdowns this season. He's quite the weapon back there. Dante Williams back there as well for the Trojans. Dante Williams with a chance to return it. Dante Williams stumbling across the 25-yard line. He is very fast. He runs a 4.6 40, and he nearly broke it loose right there. All right, so here we go. Josh Burnham. If you're a high school football fan in the state of Michigan, you probably know this name. But if you're flipping around on the Friday after Thanksgiving and you found us here on Valley Sports, you are about to get a treat. Josh Burnham is going to play linebacker at Notre Dame. He's also a whale of a quarterback, Rob Rubin.
Well, he's an impactful quarterback because he can run the football with his 6'4", 230-pound frame. But a lot of credit up to Opper, Weaver, Hurley, Grachek rather than Warner up front. 4 of them are going to play collegiately.
All seniors on the starting offensive line. And Burnham this time blown up. Mason Moragan, the 6'4" junior, creates a loss of 6.
If you weren't, I said earlier, if you get penetrated, he just goes unblocked. That's a mental error up front by that offensive line. They let him go free. He gets in the backfield and gets Burnham before he can even get started. So that's something that's going to have to be addressed.
We'll try Burnham again, right side. Patient run with a flag behind the play. McDonald made the tackle, and got to check that flag.
They might have a... Where it came from, it usually looks like a hold in the backfield. I think Carson Bordeaux, he'll be declined, I believe, as well, because you got him in a 3rd down and long. You don't jump on the pile and get a 2nd and long.
Holding, offense, number 4. That penalty's declined, brings up 3rd down.
You surprised that De La Salle declined that penalty?
No. You got 1 shot now. It's 3rd and 13. You're playing a team that the quarterback's not necessarily your premier passing quarterback. He's a runner, but at 3rd and 13, you can play a little bit softer to the linebackers in case they do throw, but you can also come up and fill in the run game quickly.
Burnham a straight drop on 3rd and long, incomplete, well wide of Carson Bordeaux.
We saw in that first game, you get someone out of character. And we saw those Division 8 teams when they had to throw, they weren't comfortable. This is Traverse City Central. You know, talking to Coach Sugars, he said, yeah, Josh can throw. We'd rather have Josh running the power and the keep and the counter.
Burnham's also the punter, and Traverse City Central runs it so De La Salle does not get a punt return around the field, and they down it inside the 40. What a start for the Pilots. A score and a stop, and they've got the ball, and you come back to Ford Field. Warren De La Salle comes to Ford Field a lot this time of year. They were here last year. Remember, we were playing the state finals in January. They took on Brady Rose in a whale of a Mona Shores football team. The Pilots played a heck of a game last year, but Brady Rose capped off a legendary high school career, and De La Salle fell just short in the state championship game. I'd say last year, but technically it happened earlier this year. Rob, we got to make sure we're on top of these sorts of things. You know, a huge reason why De La Salle is back here this year, and they're favored to win this game today, is Dan Roan has seen his junior quarterback, Brady Drogosh, just make leaps and bounds from the way he was playing at this time last year.
Yeah, Danny Roan said that how he's improved is unbelievable, especially with his throwing. You see, I always knew he was fast, but his throwing has really come on board as well.
Wants to throw it here. A roll to the right, plants his feet, and throws incomplete. Nichols the intended target, and Braden Halliday had the airtight coverage. Over 1,400 rushing yards this year for Drogosh. Just about 1,300 passing yards. Last week, in the semifinal win against a Livonia Franklin team that was as hot as anyone in the state of Michigan, just a calm 4-touchdown combined day for Brady Drogosh. No big deal. They'll keep this time. Keep his legs moving. And set up a 3rd down and about 7. Carson Bordeaux on the tackle.
This is when it's nice to have a quarterback that you have confidence in passing the football. So 3rd down and 7, you know that you can look in your playbook if you're Dan Roan and say, what do we want to do? We're going to go 2-by-2, 3-by-1 as a formation. You see 3 at the top. You get isolation on the bottom down here. You get one-on-one coverage. So if you want to look and try to get the ball to Jack Janacek, who already has a couple catches, you have the opportunity to do so.
Throws, pass caught, 1st down and more. Janacek again, Rob, that's what you were calling for. His 3rd catch today. And once again, the Pilots are into Traverse City Central territory.
Yeah, this is a nice job by Janacek. Look, he's showing speed, comes out, keeps his head down, drives the defensive back, makes him open his hips a little bit and back up. And then it's just a well-thrown ball by Drogosh.
Gain of 13. De La Salle is 4 for 4 on 3rd down so far today. Drogosh couldn't get away. A defensive line surge. What an excellent play. Parker Schmidt, loss of 3.
We saw it happen on the other side when you get penetration, and you're going to see Schmidt on your left, number 85, coming to your pitcher. And nice job playing under control. I thought Drogosh had him when he was starting to spin out, come back this way. But Schmidt really did a nice job of wrapping him up and getting him for the loss, setting him in the 2nd and long.
It's a situation that De La Salle really hasn't been in a lot so far in this ball game.
Playing press coverage on the corners. They're challenging them. They're going to get up and try to jam in the face. You have the safeties back here probably playing halves.
De La Salle and Dan Roan call their 1st timeout of the 1st quarter on their 2nd drive of the 1st quarter. The first one ended in a touchdown. How does the 2nd one end? We'll find out soon. De La Salle has already scored once today, and they've got the ball back as we're winding down the 1st quarter in Traverse City Central territory. Rob, as we look at the Rubik's Cube for today's game, we really need to get that.
That's all you need to know. You could probably turn the channel off after this because you know what's going to happen. No, this is Drogosh, not Drogosh. He's got to be able to throw the ball. We know Brady can run the ball, but he's going to need to throw. We've already seen a lot of that in the 1st quarter and burning down the house. Come on, you know, obviously you got to stop big number 8. If you're De La Salle defensively up front, you got to limit the damage that Josh Burnham can do.
On the last play, Drogosh lost 3. He runs left this time. Cuts back. Keeps the legs moving. Caden Warner wrapped him up. And will set up a 3rd down and longer for De La Salle, an offense that is 4 for 4 on 3rd downs already today. Got an injury, unfortunately. That's Caden Featherstone, the senior starting left tackle. My goodness, you hope he's okay. If he's not, that's just a massive loss for De La Salle. Caden shifted to left tackle this year. He was the left guard last year. Let's see if we can spot it here.
Yeah, he gets rolled up on a little bit. Can we back that up or not? I don't know if we can back that up just a little bit. We get a second look here. He's coming to your picture to your right. Watch big number 79 pushing, and then you can see he gets rolled up a little bit on that left ankle. I hope you can come back. I mean, you work your whole life for this. You get a chance to play in the state championship. You're at Ford Field, and it's the 1st quarter of a game. That's tough.
Now, look, Rob, you never want to lose your starting left tackle, and they're working on Caden Featherstone right now. Here's the good news for De La Salle. On their depth chart, the backup left tackle, Brendan Dignan, He was a starter on the offensive line last year, and when you're a big school like De La Salle that is always an outstanding football program, yes, you do have depth, but you never want to see this, specifically when a senior is playing in a state championship game.
Yeah, as a father, I see this, and just it tears you up because, you know, this young man has done everything. He's done all the summer workouts. He's done everything all year for all his whole career, and then he gets in the game of his life and he gets injured. So I just hope that Caden's going to be okay.
We'll head over to the De La Salle sideline and get an injury update on Caden Featherstone when we can get it to you. For now, we shift our attention back to a very important third down. Jogash, running right, waiting for his blocks. Got a couple. He's not going to get the first down, though. And De La Salle, in a bit of no man's land, Rob, does have a decision to make here on fourth down.
You want to see why Josh Burnham's going to Notre Dame. Maybe, we're gonna, yeah, real quick, in the middle of your screen, the speed he flows, we're going to have to come back to it because De La Salle is going for it here on 4th and 4. Now, the one thing you can do here is hard count. Try to get the freebie. If you don't get on the jump, then you got to have something planned. You got man down on the bottom here.
Looking left, throwing that way, and it's caught. De La Salle converts again. Tristan Nichols that time.
Coach Sugar is going to have to start having a little more confidence as defensive back. Just a little bit too much cushion that he can't drive on the ball, and that's a throw. That ball was let go. That's a big-time throw. When you let the ball go before your guy comes out as a cut, and that time, that's just trust he has in Tristan Nichols. Tristan snaps it at 5. The ball's halfway there. That's really tough on the defensive back in that situation because, you know, Braden Halliday closed pretty well. He just didn't close quite quick enough.
The drive continues for the Pilots. Rozier running left, chopped down in the open field by Halliday after a gain of a couple. Okay, so with Caden Featherstone out, here's the switch that De La Salle has made on the offensive line. They've shifted around some guys. Tavon Mixon, the senior, number 75, he is now shifted to left tackle, another returning starter from last year's team. Jogash keeps, and in the open field, another good gain, and another third down for a De La Salle team that is converted on every single third down but one they've had so far today.
Now, if you're De La Salle and you've thrown on the last third and mediums, you can, you know, this is a time maybe they're going to play a little tighter press. Maybe you try to go over the top, get by him now.
Jogash moving forward, patiently wading his way through the line, and he should have enough.
He's snaky, like slithery. He doesn't give you a clean shot. He twists and turns because he's long, and you think that you're going to get clean shots on him, but as much as they run the quarterback power and the quarterback counter inside, people aren't getting a good shot on him. That's a big third down play. Now you move the sticks, and you got a 7-point lead, and you're feeling pretty confident. You're Dan Roan right now. Everything you're calling is really coming out well here.
Rozier, right side, but not very much. Good job by the Trojans swarming to the ball. Bordeaux makes the tackle there. Traverse City Central has done a very good job on first and second down against the Pilots so far in this ball game, but Warren De La Salle, when it's winning time, is making the winning plays so far. They were here in the state championship game last season, and they fell short by 6 points. They're hoping that they don't fall short today against a darn good Traverse City Central squad. Red Rozier has scored for De La Salle, and the Bro Zone is fired up. They've got a lead after one quarter.
Welcome back. Coach Dan Roan has attested a lot of De La Salle's success this season to his strength and conditioning program, where they've put a huge emphasis on flexibility. This offseason, he brought in strength and conditioning coordinators Tyler Altward and Alex Ejek, and they've really just turned this program around. As you can see, they've incorporated yoga into the program. Now, this is something that Coach Roan carried over from Grand Rapids West Catholic when he coached there, and he just really saw an improvement in his team, and it worked well, so he said, why not here? Guys, I guess Tom Brady isn't the only one that has to work on his flexibility.
Yeah, Brooke, that's absolutely right. Pliability works for Tom Brady, and it also works for the De La Salle Pilots. In all seriousness, Dan Roan really credits all that yoga work, Rob, for the fact that his De La Salle Pilots are remarkably healthy as they enter the state championship game. We all know in football, half the battle is just keeping your guys on the field, and De La Salle has had remarkable success with that. Their first drive was 13 plays. Their second drive, so far, 12 plays. Drogosh. Caught! Tristan Nichols. Goodbye!
They come on, they show a quick slant to Nichols, who gets inside the defender that time, Halliday. And right before the snap, they widen him a little bit just to open up the natural seam that's available. They get him away from the 2 and the 1 receiver inside. And that's his execution. I mean, Drogosh has been really good.
Brady Lowe knocks in the extra point. Brady Drogosh throws his 13th passing touchdown of the season. And De La Salle humming in a revenge game, trying to win another state championship.
This is coming right at you here. Really nice job getting inside by Nichols. Ball's actually thrown behind. That's a really good catch. You don't know how hard that is when you're going full speed to have to be able to turn, adjust your body, reach back at the ball that's being zipped. That's not one of those floating passes now, because that's, you're throwing that slant, it's coming. So really great job by Tristan Nichols. And De La Salle right now offensively has been just beautiful, just controlling the ball. And you just wonder right now about the defense of De La Salle, how they're going to be, because they had 3 plays against Traverse City. You look at right there, that's a huge stat. I mean, 3 plays, and you're already, you know, what, almost a few seconds into the second quarter. This would be a little bit of barometer. See what Traverse City can do. You talk about big drives. Well, this is a big drive. They need to show some confidence and be able to move the sticks offensively and keep their defense, even though they do play some guys both ways, give them a little bit of a rest, let them be coached up on the sidelines of what they're seeing against this De La Salle offense.
That offense for De La Salle, it feels like, has been on the football field the entire game.
You're good, Cody.
Cody's good. Carson Bordeaux is back deep for Traverse City Central. Reed Seabase, number 5, back there as well, with Dante Williams, number 25.
Let's go. Time it up. Time it up.
Cummings sends it away, and this is going to be a touchback. Into the blue paint it goes, and Traverse City Central will start after the touchback. All right, Rob, so obviously the Pilots have gotten off to one whale of a start, but this Traverse City Central team has been outstanding the entire year. These guys are not going to be rattled, even with the score the way it is right now. But what's their attack plan on this drive? What do you think they're going to?
Well, first of all, they can't have breakdowns in the offensive front. I mean, they got behind the sticks on the first play of the game, which really gets them out of the rhythm. They want to run the football, you know, use that big quarterback, Josh Burnham, and Reed Seabase to control the inside game.
Burnham, up the middle. Maybe a yard or 2. You can just tell that Josh Burnham has the eyes of every single pilot on him this afternoon.
At the risk of stating the obvious, right? Yeah, you got a guy that's going to Notre Dame, and he runs the ball. The majority of their offense comes from number 8. You're coaching your players up during the week. You say, snap it on your helmet, because he's going to be bringing it, running downhill at you. That time, they did a good job limiting to a 2-yard gain.
I think De La Salle Pilot defenders saw Josh Burnham in their sleep all week long. They'll run it again. This time he's got a little room. And then that room and space evaporates quickly. Will Beasley makes the tackle. Will Beasley, 86 tackles on the season entering today. You probably recognize that last name. His brother Drew plays at Michigan State. Will's going to Princeton. Rob and I did not go to Princeton. Burnham, and a little misdirection give. And it doesn't quite work as they wanted it to. Reed's C-base is short, and the Trojans are getting to the line
This is
quickly.
tempting now. You got a 230-pound QB. Look, maybe hurry up here. It's going to be in number 8's hands.
Traverse City Central with a hard count, and De La Salle does not bite.
The way De La Salle's moved the ball, this is so tempting. Go for it here.
They will. Burnham leaning forward, and he did get the first down. Not by much. The drive does continue.
Coach Sugar's going to go hit one of those casinos after. That's a gambling man there on your own 30. He goes for it. He's got faith in his Notre Dame bound quarterback, and he was stopped about a yard short, but sometimes genetics comes into play, and that time when you're big and strong like Burnham, you're able to move the sticks.
When you need a yard, you go to your quarterback who's 6'4", 230. And when you need more, you go back to him. Josh Burnham won the best offensive play of the game for the Trojans. How that offense starting to get in gear.
Well, they're doing a good job. They're getting outside. You see big number 72, Gavin Grocek. He gets the kick out block there, actually gets a pancake, and there's Beasley comes up. Beasley saying, man, I just kind of hit him, and he didn't really flinch a lot. That's a big man. Will Beasley, if we highlight in the open, just one of the better linebackers in the state of Michigan. So it's a good matchup today.
Give Dante Williams brought down after a first down run. Will Beasley again.
You know what I've learned here watching this first quarter is the guys in the purple uniforms, they're fast. There's a lot of plays when Burnham got to the edge a couple of times. Oh, this is going to be a huge play, but they just have great speed inside out, getting there and limiting the damage that the offensive Central can do.
Burnham, patient run, left side. Lowers the shoulder, moves forward, keeps the drive moving for Traverse City Central. Feels like Will Beasley is in on every single play. Let's take a look at that right hand. That's a big old cast. Who needs two hands?
Well, he's got fashion. He's color coordinated. It's nice.
Yeah, that is. I didn't even notice that the cast was purple until you brought it up.
All right, you got second and a long 7 here. You haven't seen Burnham except for one time try to throw the ball.
Trojans try the middle with C-base. Leans forward, gains a yard. And it's going to be third down for Traverse City Central.
You know, you want to run that counter when Burnham carries the ball so much just to keep the defense honest, and also gives your quarterback a rest that he doesn't have to try to push the pile. But De La Salle was not biting on Burnham at all. They were very sound on the backside of that when that counter came back inside, trying to get C-base the ball. They were ready.
Burnham running left, and the Pilots ready. James McDonald, number 44, combining on the tackle with Devin Schmelter.
No, they're going to come out in that look like they're going to go for it here in the regular offense, but they're going to pooch punt this. They're going to take Burnham. He's going to be 5 to 6 yards deep. We saw him early on deep in their end, and he'll punt the ball. If you're De La Salle, you're tempted to put someone back, but just in the off chance that he doesn't punt this,
couple of hand claps for Burnham. And a timeout for the Pilots. Dan Roan wants to make sure everyone's on the same page before Traverse City Central has a fourth down. First time in a while that the Trojans of Traverse City Central have made the MHSAA football finals. Heard a rumor, Rob, that Traverse City is a nice place to spend a few days for vacation in the summer.
oh, you could spend more in a few days. You can spend a lot of money there too. They're not giving anything away in Traverse City.
Last time the Trojans were state champs, 1988, when they beat the Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central at the Silverdome. Up until last year, Traverse City Central had not won a regional championship since they won the state championship. They were Traverse City high the last time they won a state title. They're going to go for it. Burnham, he's short. A run right up the middle. De La Salle stops him, and now the Trojans defense really behind the 8 ball.
You know, this is just going to be inside. Quarterback Burnham's going to just take it right up the middle of the field. A little bit of a trap. You can see number 77, that's Brett Weaver pulling. And there was a little bit of a gap, but man, De La Salle is just too disciplined up front. And I tell you, everything's about risk reward. When you make a decision as a coach, it's risk and reward. The reward, if you make it there, is you get a first down. The risk is now you just giving a team that moved the ball twice down the field on you a short field starting near midfield.
We'll start at the 49 of the Pilots. 2 for 2 in scoring touchdowns today. Drogosh fires a fastball to the far side of the field. Jack Janacek makes another catch. Very good gain on first down.
The pass complete to number 22,
Janacek runs a 4.640, has a 4.0 GPA. He's getting ready for basketball season when this ball game ends. Brady Drogosh is on the Hoops team too. He runs left, gains the first down, and a lot more. Brady Drogosh is going to win a foot race every single time. Brady Drogosh, 45 yards into the house in the blink of an eye. Brady Lowe has only missed 3 extra points all year. He's 2 for 2 today. They get 3 for 3.
Let's take a look at why De La Salle and that man Brady Drogosh got the touchdown. You're going to see penetration right here. He's going to make the first one miss. Run it, let it go. Be ready to stop this. So watch this. Nice job making the first miss. Now pause it. You got a shot right coming here. Watch what an athlete can do, though. He gets up, boom. And here I am, there I go. That's Josh Kluger's a good football player. Drogosh makes a miss, and then it's just speed, as you alluded to so many times.
That's one of those runs, Rob, where throughout the game, yeah, early in the game, those are 2-3 yard carries. As you keep leaning on them, you keep working on them, those turn into nearly 50-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, but you know, let's not get too carried away. That was defended pretty well. There was penetration inside by Traverse City. They got into the backfield. They just couldn't make the play there. And then he was squared up. Klug had him. Josh Klug was squared up on him, but he just made him miss. And then that's just, I'm a little bit better athlete, and I got great top-end speed, and we're up 21-0. Traverse City Central is just looking right now and saying, what is going on here? We did not see this coming. Now, this is a team that, you know, the only common score we had during the year was when they played Brother Rice. Both teams played Birmingham Brother Rice, and I think De La Salle only scored 21 on Rice, yet I think Traverse City scored close to 40 on Brother Rice.
Of course, as we know, teams are rapidly changing throughout the year.
It was the end of the year. It's a 4-hour trip up north for Brother Rice, so it's a tough deal for them. But I did not see this coming.
Cummings kicks it away again. Bordeaux will have a chance to return. Marshall has taken 3 kicks back for touchdowns this year. He's not taking that one back. Hello, Aaron White. What a stick on special teams.
You're going to see Aaron White come down. He's going to simple squaring up. That's what taking your shot. Don't break down. Just come flying in on special teams, and Aaron White does exactly that. Man, it's a tough way to make a living now. Thank God these kids are doing it for fun. This is a huge drive. You know, Central needs to put some points. We're only 7 minutes and a half. They need to drive just to give them some confidence heading into half, if nothing else.
Burnham running for nothing. De La Salle's defensive line is having a party in the backfield. James McDonald, the linebacker, with the TFL that time.
Well, if you're going to run a quarterback draw, which that was, you have to be more patient. You set up, you drop back, you invite the defenders up the field, and then you take off. Josh just kind of set for half count. He took off. The defensive linemen are still playing the run game up front, so he ran right into it.
Burnham wants to throw. Rolling away from pressure. Josh Burnham forced to run. Lowers his shoulder, gets what he can. But it's still third down for Traverse City Central.
Yeah, and we talk about teams being built for the situation. This is not what Traverse City Central was built for, coming back from a 21-0 deficit. They're built for having a 14-0 lead and grinding the ball and running it. Now, 3rd down and 6. Another tough play if you're Traverse City Central. Sooner or later, Josh Burnham's going to have to show that he can throw the football down the field.
Rolling with the intention to throw. He gets it away somehow. Will Beasley was draped on him like a blanket.
Burnham's pass falls incomplete. 4th down and 6.
Will Beasley's having himself a game. Watch the left side of your screen. He's going to come. He's going to beat the block that time, doing a nice job. Reed Seabass just can't handle him, and that's a really good football player, keeping leverage too. You see him attack the outside shoulder of the running back to turn it back inside.
Flag flies late. Looked like motion and movement on the left side of the offensive line for Traverse City Central.
False start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Maybe that was a situation before the flag, Rob, where you think about going for it, but now if you're Coach Eric Sugars, you got to punt, right?
That deep. Now you have to punt. They're going to that. It looks like there he goes. He'll drop back. And
Burnham swings his right leg through it, and this is going to turn out to be quite the way to flip field position. De La Salle will start near their 30. Dan Roan, the head coach for De La Salle. Yeah, this is just his 2nd season with the Pilots, but if you've been following high school football in our state for many years, you know this man has experience here at Ford Field. He was the head coach at Grand Rapids West Catholic from 2007 to 2015, and he won that state championship 4 times. 99 wins in a truly outstanding tenure as the head coach for Grand Rapids West Catholic. And Rob, you can just sense from this De La Salle program, you can just sense with the way they walked into the building today, Dan Roan knows what he's doing when his team gets to this spot. Pilots got here last year and fell short to Mona Shores. Burnham tried to jump the snap count, and Drogosh got him.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. Number 8. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
So now it'll be 1st down and shorter for De La Salle. An offense that has just made a living converting 3rd down so far today. They're 5 of 6 on their first 3 drives. Swinging it out. Alton McCullum makes the catch. Tackled in the open field. Be a 2nd down and very short for the Pilots. Brandon Halliday made the tackle. The teams, players, and coaches all work hard all week long getting ready for these games, and so do our officials. Local officials meetings across our state every single week help the men and women calling the action stay on top of their game. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Why not become one, better yet? Visit the MHSAA website for more info. There's help wanted. Just whistle. Another run for Drogosh. Bordeaux, Burnham combining on the tackle, but it's still a 1st down for De La Salle.
And the clock continues to tick away, and you only get so many possessions in a game. And right now, Traverse City Central, they're thinking, you know, we got to get this ball back. A turnover would be huge. Rip the ball, strip it, do something, because De La Salle is just controlling the ball and controlling this game.
Drogosh again, up the middle, continuing to suck space and time off of that clock. That is the 13th run for Brady Drogosh in this ball game. Going to end up being about a 2nd down and 5. Tack on 5 more yards. He is well over 100 yards rushing.
And he's running the ball well, but you also have to understand is when you can throw the ball outside, it makes running the ball easier inside. He's had more running room than Josh Burnham has had. Let's not fool yourself and say, whoa, he's better than Burnham. Look at him run the ball. That's not the case. But what he does do, Brady Drogosh, is throw it, like right here.
Quick pass, caught, Janacek again. He has been the main target, and with good reason. He's bringing him in every time. Another 1st down for the Pilots, gain of 12.
If you play soft corner coverage against Dan Roan, he will just pick you apart when he has a throwing quarterback. He knows that. He's not getting greedy. He's being patient. He realized they're playing soft. I have speed. We can threaten with the speed. We've shown it to him a few times. We're just going to run it. And look how he comes back to the ball to bail his quarterback out a little bit, because that was played pretty well by Halliday.
Brett Rozier tries the left side. Cuts it up, gets a 1st down and more. Into the red zone they go. Brett Rozier with a big gainer. Klug had to tackle him from behind. There's a flag behind the play, though.
Yeah, it's holding, 100%. It's a no-brainer. I saw it when it happened. I don't know if it was Bordeaux number got pulled down.
Holding. Offense. Number 7. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 1st down.
Well, it's going to come wide to the left. Bounces it to the edge. And you see Klug number 2 trying to get off. And you can see him being held, turned sideways. And that's an easy call for the official when you're on the end of the line. Believe me, I know it's a tight end. You know, I tried to grab. I held every play, I tell people. But I grabbed inside. And if any separation start with the defender, you just let go. You let go, and then you open your hands and try to push them. But that was a good call by the official, because I'm not sure that play goes like that if they don't hold Klug.
So after the penalty, it's 1st down and long. Quick hitter to Tristan Nichols, who spins his way across the original line of scrimmage. Braden Halliday made the tackle.
This is interesting. He's going to throw this out to the left, and I almost ran. This was they adjusted their route. Watch this. He's going to try to go by him. He gets his outside shoulder and just snaps it outside. That's almost like a short back shoulder throw. This passing game, Drogosh, what Dan Roan talked about him, I think he understated how good his quarterback was to me.
And I think Josh Burnham just jumped offside for the 2nd time on the drive.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense. Number 8.
When you're Josh Burnham,
5-yard penalty. Main 2nd down.
And so much is expected of you. People come to see you. Some people here aren't with De La Salle or aren't with Travis Center. They come to watch a Notre Dame bound kid. He's pressing a little bit. You know, he's trying to make some. His offense right now not getting much support and moving the football, so he's starting to press a little bit, and that's why he's getting these penalties, jumping in. He's trying to make a big play.
De La Salle humming again. Drogosh keeps. He's got the 1st down. It's across the 25 with a good block on the outside from Tristan Nichols. Bordeaux makes the tackle after another gain positively for Drogosh, this time 12.
All right, he's going to read this, man. He being the quarterback, Drogosh, let it go. When he comes, squeezes and stop. See him, he stops, he starts chasing him. That tells the quarterback, I'm pulling it, I'm getting outside. And as long as Parker Schmidt starts to close down on that running back, Drogosh just going to pull it and get to the edge.
Drogosh throws, and it's caught again. We've been working that far side of the field a bunch on this drive. That's Jack Janacek again. Traverse City Central gets the ball to start the 2nd half. They do have all their timeouts, but they're not calling any here. Straight run to the left with Drogosh, and that time he met a Trojan wall. Thrown backward by Caden Warner.
You're De La Salle, you're in a nice situation. You have 3rd down and 6, 7-ish, but you know that you can do whatever you want. If you want to just run the ball and maybe eat some more clock and do a field goal attempt, that's fine. Or you can take a shot in the end zone. Just keep an eye up here. Just get some man coverage.
Josh looking that way. And a check, catch, and a lean forward. for another De La Salle first down. Got just enough of a grip away from Braxton Hill.
Sooner or later, Traverse Central is going to have to come up and play press man. And I guess maybe Coach Sugars feels that they just don't have the speed to run with the De La Salle receivers, because if you come up and play press, they start running fade routes on you, then it's huge plays. This way, you're limiting to at least 5 or 6 yard gain, but they're just so efficient at it.
Gosh. He's losing time, and he has to throw it out of bounds. Nichols the intended target, but that was a throwaway.
It's an intelligent play by Drogosh. Live to fight another day as a quarterback. You don't take the sack. Sometimes nothing's there. You just can't make a play, so you throw it away. Too many kids in that situation say, oh, I'll keep trying, I'll spin back, and then take a 15-yard sack. Takes you out of field goal position. Now, because Brady Drogosh did that, you still have an opportunity if you don't get the first down here or get in the end zone for a field goal attempt with 32 seconds left in the half.
They were pointing in the middle of the line. They thought they got the Trojans to jump again. Drogosh floats it up, and it's incomplete. He got hit as he threw. That could have been the chance for Traverse City Central to flip the game a little bit.
The pressure's going to come quick inside by Burnham. And actually, I don't think Burnham hits him, but he's able to drive the running back, was that Rozier, into the quarterback that time and make the throw go very errant.
Another third down for De La Salle. They're 6 of 7 on third down today. They're going to have to burn a timeout as that play clock was at 4. De La Salle up 21-0 and back in the red zone at Traverse City Central, looking for a cherry on top of one heck of a first half Sunday. Back at Ford Field, De La Salle has a big play coming up inside the red zone of Traverse City Central. More football coming your way. Up next, the Division 6 state final between Lansing Catholic and Warren Michigan Collegiate. Our coverage is going to start right around 4:30. On Bally Sports Detroit Plus. They call the student section for De La Salle the Bro Zone, and they've had a lot of excuses to cheer. Rob, heck of a first half for De La Salle. They've got the ball up 21-0 with 28 seconds to go in the first half.
Big reason is number 12. Brady Drogosh has played really, really well. Both aspects. We've seen the speed. We can run with the football. Good decision maker. He's good in the short passing game. Now this guy, the wide receiver this way, he's a long ways from the boundary, which leads you to believe he's going to work to the left corner of the end zone.
Timeout Traverse City Central before the snap for De La Salle.
But as I was telling you before that timeout, when you take the wide receiver to the wide side of the field, but you shorten him inside the numbers, that means you're trying to create space for him to work. And that would be the left side of the end zone. So I won't be surprised to see him come out there and try something there. It gives you more room to work defender. You don't want to have the boundary limit what you can do as a receiver.
Drogosh has found Tristan Nichols for a touchdown already in the first half. He's run for one as well. These drives for De La Salle have just been almost poetic in terms of how consistent and patient and how long they've been. This is their third different drive with at least 12 plays.
And balance. They're throwing, they're running, they're short pass, the run game's inside, the run game's outside. It's all about not just Dan Roan being able to call the plays, but the players on the field executing them, and they're doing it perfectly.
De La Salle 12-0 against Eric Sugars and his 12-1 Traverse City Central Trojans. They haven't lost since the first game of the year when they lost to DeWitt, who will play in the Division III state title game against Detroit King tomorrow night.
They're heavy to this side. You get the whole field to work.
Third down, throw to the end zone, and another De La Salle touchdown. It's Tristan Nichols again. Brady Drogosh is dealing.
Talk about tighten the splits outside, because it gives the quarterback much more room to deliver the football. And Tristan Nichols, you're going to see right there, nice little jab, and he separates. See, he can run away, not just down the field. Next point is good. He can not just run down the field, Evan, he can run away from the defender sideways as well. So he's going vertical and horizontal at the same time. And this ball is beautiful. You just throw it out there away from the defenders, and Tristan Nichols having himself a game.
So is Brady Drogosh. 13 of 16, 118 passing yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. Oh, by the way, he had a 45-yard running touchdown. I would call that a decent first half.
Well, if I'm that young man, I know there's not a ton of colleges that have been interested in him so far, but all I do is send this game film out to people. You'll get a lot of phone calls back, because he looks like a collegiate quarterback to me. With his arm, he's still, you see how he's got the good pace on the quick short passing game they do. He's shown that he has a touch on that ball. Some other, he threw the slant early on, and we know he can run it. So Dan Rowan's got himself a pretty dang good quarterback who's only a junior, by the way.
As our friend Devin Gardner likes to say, Brady Drogosh should just clip up this game and go send it to colleges and say, what do you think? Ante Williams back deep for Traverse City Central. Cody Cummings has been getting a workout with that right leg in the first half. Carson Bordeaux back deep as well for Traverse City Central. Cummings likes to squib it on the ground, and the Trojans fall on the football at the 35-yard line. All right, Rob, 23 seconds to go in the half. They got 2 timeouts. I think Traverse City Central is going to open it up here, or just try to go to the locker room.
Normally I say lick your wounds, just take a knee, but you're down 28 points. I'll tell Josh Burnham, I don't know how much touch he has, but I know he has a strong arm. I send some people deep and just go and get it. Try to make a play. Try to salvage something out of this first half.
They will try to throw. Burnham throws, and it's picked. Devin Schmelter with the INT. And the De La Salle tidal wave continues.
We saw that last week in Sterling Heights. Stevenson did the same thing right before the half, but it was a 13-12 game, and they threw a pick that went the other way for a touchdown. Here, Burnham's waiting. Nothing's coming open deep. He tries to step up. He gets hit as he's throwing the football, and Schmelter is Johnny on the spot. And this is probably going to give De La Salle an opportunity to take a shot or two to the end zone, and then if not, that doesn't work, a field goal attempt. Because do they have any? No, they're out of timeouts though. So if you're De La Salle, you got to throw past the sticks, by the boundaries, or into the end zone.
In case you were wondering, Schmelter was holding up 6 because that's his 6th interception of the season. Drogosh, throw into the end zone. McCollum makes the catch and slithers his way in. Brady Drogosh is introducing himself to the state of Michigan on Thanksgiving weekend. There is a flag down.
Excessive celebration after the De La Salle. They ran over to the stands. But this is Drogosh. We've seen him make touch pass, but now he showed something else. Pocket feel. Steps up into the pocket. He's able to find Elton McCollum for the touchdown. He's pretty much on this reel he's going to put together. He's done everything you want your quarterback to do. He can run. He moves in the pocket. Touch, firm, deep. He's done it all here today, and that's why his team is about to go up 35-0 with a conversion.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike offense, number 4. They have elected to take the 15 yards on the trot.
De La Salle has scored 5 touchdowns in the first half, and Brady Drogosh has accounted for 4 of them.
I don't
that's decent work.
I don't think anyone's ever played a perfect half, but this has been a pretty close to it. You look at that. Dan Roan has got to be unbelievably pleased. He did not see this coming, I guarantee. I mean, he knew what he has. He has a good offensive team. But to do that is in the state championship game is unprecedented.
And this has turned into quite the extra point attempt for Brady Lowe after the penalty. And it slithers wide right. I think that's literally the only thing that's gone wrong for De La Salle in the first half.
That is the truth.
I mean, let's give some kudos here to Dan Roan and the program that he has built very rapidly in 2 years at De La Salle. Now, look, the program has been built for many, many years. Multiple state championships within the last decade for the De La Salle Pilots. But Dan Roan had a challenge moving from Grand Rapids West Catholic here to De La Salle. In his first year, he made the state title game last year, and look at what he's doing this year.
Yeah, you know, Coach Roan's also the athletic director at De La Salle, which I don't want to say it's an advantage, but it definitely gives him a grasp of the student body, a grasp of the football, how it fits in, what is the culture of the school, that how do they value what he's doing as a head football coach as well. But we knew he could coach. I mean, he brought West Catholic here for years and won championships with them, and it's just amazing. I'm just awestruck. I did not see this come. I thought this was going to be one of the most competitive games of the weekend, and it's 35-0, and we're still 7 seconds from half.
And look, Traverse City Central, early in this first half, had De La Salle in a lot of third down, medium to long gain. But De La Salle, at every turn, has made the right plays. Off the kickoff, it caroms off the fingertips of a Trojan out of bounds. 34-0. The De La Salle Pilots making a statement to the state of Michigan. You can make the argument, many people have, Rob, that regardless of class this year, the De La Salle Pilots have been the best team in the state of Michigan. It's hard to argue at that point with the way they've played this first half.
Let's give Division I a chance. I get to call that tomorrow with Matt Shepard. We're going to see two pretty good football teams. Adams and Belleville, both are very good football teams.
That's absolutely right. Adams fans, Belleville fans are sitting at home watching and going, what is that broadcaster talking about? Come on now.
It's opinion. You can have your opinion, Evan.
Dante Williams on the final carry of a first half that was all De La Salle. The Pilots, 34 unanswered. That is one of the finer first halves of football you'll ever see.
Well, Brooke Fletcher's going to get a chance to talk to Dan Roan, head coach of De La Salle, the Pilots. And usually the coaches, you know, they're pretty close to the vest. I'm curious what Dan Roan's going to say when he looks at this and dissects a little bit, how he can be, you know, what's he going to give as a mess? Hey, you know, we got to come out and fight like it's 0-0. Coach, you're up 34-0. They haven't come close to stopping you. And we're going to have Brooke Fletcher. We're going to find out, because I think Brooke is ready for right now. Brooke, you got Coach Roan with you.
Coach walking over to me with a smile on his face. Coach, when you look at the scoreboard, 34-0. How was your team able to do that in the first half?
You know, I think it starts with our defense again. Our defense took away things they wanted to do early and forced them to do some things. And then Brady's made some big plays. Really proud of our offensive line playing well.
Yeah, Brady Drogosh, a huge first half. You have to be so proud of the way he's performed as a junior so far in the state championship game.
It is, considering last year in the first half of the game he didn't play very well, so he really picked himself up, and he's leading this football team. He's our leader, and we're going to go to him all night long.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Brooke, thank you. I think Dan Roan is a true head coach, so he's going to be talking to his boys and preaching in the locker room, but there's not much to say after that first half. Brady Drogosh is a shining star. He accounted for 4 touchdowns in one whale of a first half for the De La Salle Pilots.
Welcome back. It's halftime here in the Division II championship game. We have the Traverse City Central band playing behind me, but another Traverse City Central star, Josh Burnham, a name you've heard a lot here tonight. Listen, he's made a name for himself, not just in the state of Michigan, but across the country. So much that he has committed to go to Notre Dame next year. So earlier this season, I had a chance to catch up with the young star to learn about his football journey and what football means to him and his town. We good? Yep. All right, well, let's talk about... There's another play. Josh was looking up. I'm like, what are you looking at?
I knew it was coming.
Spread your wings and
Fly away with me.
Last year you had a lot of eyes on you as far as recruitment, so why Notre Dame?
I feel like it was just the best fit for me. I mean, the culture and history behind Notre Dame, I mean, it's really something special. I mean, it didn't even seem real, but, I mean, it all worked out. Last year was definitely huge. I mean, it didn't end the way we wanted to. Semifinals against Mona Shore, strong year, strong core together. I mean, we've been playing with each other since middle school. I mean, after last year's loss, we don't want to get that feeling again, so we've definitely put in a lot of work in the off season to make sure that we don't get that same feeling. It's gone by in the blink of an eye, so I mean, you just gotta enjoy it while it's here, but I mean, I'm excited.
You mentioned you're really close with these guys. You grew up playing with them, so what do you like most about playing on this team?
Yeah, I mean, definitely just the connections we have with one another. I mean, we're all, like we say every day, family and brothers, and I mean, we take that for what it is. We'll go out and eat dinner as a team, full team. We'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings, Asian Buffet.
This is good.
Yeah, and we'll just, I mean, right now, we go to Asian Buffet, and I think the entire team, we stacked up, I think it was like 210 little ice cream cups. We just...
Between all of you guys?
Yeah, we just...
How many did you crush? That's the question.
I know Caden Warner and I think he got 30 plus, and I think I was close to 30.
That's impressive.
The coaches here have definitely helped all of us grow as football players, but even just human beings. I mean, they try and make us like good young men to help our community, and I mean, that's definitely been something that's been super fun, like helping out with these kids camps and everything. All those little kids just see you out there Friday night and they want to be like you. So I mean, it's good to make connections with them and make them feel like family.
How does that make you feel when like little kids are looking up to you and they want to be just like you?
It's nuts. I mean, I myself was the same way. I remember like picturing myself being in their shoes. So I mean, it's awesome.
We're gonna fly away. Come on and fly.
Yeah, in the piece you heard Josh talking about their team dinners and that they were eating ice cream cups at every dinner. Well, he told us before the game, the seniors, they're now up to 201, but the seniors have one more team dinner to break that record. So I don't know how they eat that many ice cream cups. That would make me sick, but good for them, good for them. All right, well, much more to come from here at Ford Field. We have the Traverse City Central Band performing. The Pilots are up, much more to come back. All right, welcome back to Ford Field, where the score is 34-0. The Pilots have a big lead here at halftime. All right, but we have much more games to come here the rest of the weekend. We have the Division 6 game coming up at 4:30, Division 4 at 7:30, and then tomorrow we have 4 games on deck for you, starting with Division 7 at 10 a.m., Division 1 following that, followed by Division 5, and then Division 3 at 7:30. Tune in to Bally Sports and the Bally Sports app for complete coverage. Much more to come from Ford Field for the Division 2 state championship game. The 2021 MHSAA football finals on Bally Sports are brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family, not just the name of our company, but the way we do business. And by Figer Law. Nobody knows the law like we do. Figer Law. The Pilots putting on quite a show in the first half, but hey, we have a whole nother half coming your way. Stick around.
The 2021 MHSAA football finals on Bally Sports are brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The vaccine is our way out of COVID-19. Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. And by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, think Ford first. Back inside Ford Field, well, that was one whale of a first half for the De La Salle Pilots. 34-0. They lead Traverse City Central in the D2 final. Evan and Rob Rubik back with you.
Wow.
Rob, I mean, my goodness, what a tidal wave that was for De La Salle.
Did not see that coming, Evan. That's just unbelievable, and it all starts with number 12, and that's Brady Drogosh, the quarterback of De La Salle. I know Dan Rohn alluded to the fact that the defensive line really got them started with some good play, but number 12 was just next level the entire first half. Whether it was running the football early on, he gives it to Rozier for the touchdown, but he really set this touchdown up with his legs. That's Brady Drogosh. And then we saw the quick throwing outside, the slant route. He's so steady, so clean the entire first half. Everything he did was magical, including that run right there where he's able to fake out a couple defenders of Traverse City Central. So it's Brady Drogosh is rising up the quarterback who I want level for colleges. This game will put him on the map because there's Nichols getting there. He's just making throw after throw. He showed pocket presence there. His receivers doing a good job as well. They're good route runners. They're good in space. They attack the ball. And Dan Rohn calls a really good game offensively. But it all, as I said, starts and finishes with number 12, Brady Drogosh. We thought it was going to be the Josh Burnham show. Josh is outmanned a little bit up front right now. The offensive line doesn't support him too well. So it's a tough day for him. But Drogosh, career day.
As always, that game summary brought to you by our friends at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Rob, look, I wonder in this second half, as we get a look at the first half stats, Traverse City Central does get the ball to start the second half, but the question is, what changes can they make to get a couple of touchdowns and get some good momentum again?
Well, they're going to have to put something in they haven't shown because the quarterback read, the quarterback power inside, De La Salle is ready for it. De La Salle said, we're going to take number 8 away, as you can see here. We're going to make him throw the ball. We're not going to let him run the football on us. If they can throw it outside, get behind us defensively, so be it. But he's not going to beat us, so they're committing 7-8 men in the box every play. They've shut that down. So if you're Traverse City, you have to try to get the ball outside in the passing game.
The Traverse City Central Trojans and the De La Salle Pilots meet in the Division II state championship game. De La Salle up 34 as we start the second half on Bally Sports.
Getting to Ford Field is a little sweeter for Eric Sugars because he has his dad, Jack Sugars, by his side. If you guys know, his dad is a coaching legend here in Michigan where he coached for over 40 years, including his incredible run at Muskegon Oak Ridge. So he is no stranger to being in the state finals, but this is his first time where Eric and his dad are here coaching together. And here's what Eric had to say about how special it is to be at Ford Field coaching with his dad.
I got to experience, his state final runs, being with him on the sideline, and it's kind of neat that we can actually coach together and be in this moment. That's pretty exciting, and you don't get that opportunity. And I talked to him this morning about that, how much I appreciate that, and thankful for the blessing of just being with my dad and sharing this moment with him, and it's something I'll never forget.
Such a special moment for him and his dad, but Eric also told me that at the beginning of last season, he lost his mom, Julie Sugars, and he said that every milestone, every memory that he and his dad have created this season, they think of her. So they're not only playing for themselves here today, but they're playing for Julie. So it's pretty special, you guys.
Brooke, it's why we love doing these events, right? Yes, the score is what it is. De La Salle played outstanding in that first half, and Traverse City Central behind the 8 ball as they start the second half. But at the end of the day, Rob, at this level of sports, events like this, you're building relationships, you're building memories that last a lifetime. And yeah, the score is not going the way of Traverse City Central right now, but eventually this score will fade, and all that Eric Sugars and Jack Sugars will remember, they coached together in a state title game. That's pretty darn cool.
That's good stuff. You can't emulate that the rest of your life. The opportunity to work with your dad, your mentor, your father, it's pretty good.
Something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Everyone who gets to play here at Ford Field this weekend, these are memories that'll last a lifetime. Bordeaux Williams back deep for Traverse City Central as Cody Cummins is prepared to kick it away again for De La Salle, who was superbly excellent in the first half. Got the ball and scored on every single drive. Brady Drogosh accounted for 4 of the 5 touchdowns they scored. Pilots play it safe and scrib it on the ground. Braden Halliday on the return. And the Trojans will start just shy of their 30. So, Rob, we saw in that first half Josh Burnham and the Trojans try as they might try to run it on the De La Salle defense. Pilots were ready for them at every turn. What adjustments can they make as we start this second half?
Well, we alluded to during the halftime, we're going through the stats and the highlights. Is you got to get it outside. You got to start throwing, whether it's a quick game. You got to try to widen that defense, spread them out a little bit, give Burnham some lanes to run the football.
They run Bordeaux left side, and a good gain for Carson Bordeaux, the senior. This is the second half, right, with the scoreline being the way it is. You root for seniors like Carson Bordeaux to make a couple of nice plays and have some good memories at Ford Field. What a year Carson has had. 8 receiving touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns. He ran for 2 last week. Burnham, incomplete. Looking for Seabase out of the backfield. Josh Burnham and the Traverse City Central Trojans struggled in the first half. They did have a 10-play drive, but they turned it over on downs, Rob, and after that, they just never got started offensively. Burnham running on 3rd down, and he's short of the first down. Will Beasley makes another tackle. I'd be stunned if the Trojans don't go for it.
Yeah, they've had a history this entire game. Coach Sugars, he understands that his defense is struggling, trying to slow down the Pilot offense and De La Salle's offense, rather. And so you might as well try to go for 4th down and a long one.
Bordeaux tripped up near the sticks. Gonna be close. They have signaled 1st down for the Trojans. That was the initial signal anyway. There you go, 1st down Traverse City Central. A lot of folks made the 4-hour-plus drive from Traverse City here to Ford Field, cheering on their Trojans in the second half of the state title game. Dante Williams on the outside, spinning across the 40, leaning his backside forward to gain a few more yards. Mason Moragan made the tackle. Today at Ford Field, we play the even-numbered state championships. Tomorrow, we play the odd. Rod, when you look at all the games tomorrow, which ones stand out to you?
This one, this one, this one, and that one. So make sure you tune in and watch them all.
Rob Rubik, a good company man. We love it. Josh Burnham up the middle. In all seriousness, those are outstanding matchups, but the final game of the weekend, Division III, DeWitt, Detroit King. As a high school football fan myself, I've been waiting for that game all year long. That is going to be an outstanding game to watch, no doubt about it.
Well, you got quarterback Ty Holtz for DeWitt. You have Dante Moore for King. These are 2 of the top quarterbacks in state. Ty Holtz, even more of an impact football player all the way around because he runs the ball as well and plays some defense too.
Couple of 1st downs on the drive for the Trojans. Nothing fancy. Burnham on the keeper again. He entered today with nearly 1,500 rushing yards and 28 touchdowns on the season. Eric Sugars said it was simple when we talked to him earlier this week. Look, give your best player the ball and let him go.
Double pass.
They want to go deep. Incomplete. Through the outstretched arms of Seabase. That was a creative-looking formation. Josh Klug was the man who wound up and threw the ball.
Yeah, this is the double pass. Burnham, when you see him, he throws it backwards. And Klug lets it go, and he really throws a nice ball. And just a little bit too far. And, you know, even if that gets on your hands, that is tough. When you're looking right over the top of your head, that is the most difficult ball to catch, to locate it, because you lose sight.
Second down, rolling, and he steps into a sack. Party in the backfield, meet me at the quarterback today for De La Salle. These Pilots pick a number. They are all over the place defensively today.
Well, this is just really good pursuit, staking angles. You can see coming from the linebacker position, doing a really nice job. Number 27, that's up. Is that Berkeley?
That's Dominic.
I'm sorry, that's Regano. Yeah, they got 2 27s. They have 99 people on their roster.
That's it? Incomplete on the pass. Trying to set up a middle screen. Will Beasley cast on his right hand and all. And his final game as a De La Salle Pilot is playing one whale of a game.
Some people say I exaggerate when I said 99. Actually, I think it's 107 when I was counting down. Look at the bodies. Now, Dan Roan rewards his younger players at bringing them up when they get this far in the state tournament. It's a reward. It's one of the things you want to make a perk for your kids in the program and tell them, you can do this someday. You can be part of this, what we're doing here. If you think you enjoyed it as a player, just think if you were going out there and actually playing.
Dan Roan and his De La Salle Pilots are closing in on another state championship.
As we continue to develop this program and grow the program, our goal is to win a state championship. And we've had some runs, we've been here, but we're not about getting here, we're about winning it. And so today we're going to play well. It's this game, when you play in a state championship, you should be playing the best team in the state, and we think we are. We're playing against the best team in the state in our division, and hopefully we go to battle and have a lot of fun, come out on the end of it the right way.
Well, Rob, De La Salle's up 34-0 in the third quarter. I'd have to imagine the Pilots are having a little fun so far today.
Yeah, but they're going to have more fun here when this game is over. Dan Roan is not one to let his kids lie down or lie in their laurels what's happened so far to date. He's going to keep pushing for this entire game to get the best from him. He also understands that, if he can really, when he really feels comfortable, right now, obviously we think he feels comfortable now, he can start substituting, get some of these younger players an opportunity to get into a game at Ford Field and really get them to buy into the program.
Drogosh hands to Rozier. Rozier keeps the legs moving and has a very nice gain on first down. It's a gain of 11 and another first down for De La Salle. That's also a baseball player, right-handed pitcher, first baseman. He's also thrown a 77-yard touchdown pass this season. Just in case De La Salle needs it, they do have it with Red Rozier. Drogosh keeps, works his way through the left side of the line and gains a yard. Number 44, Damon Livingston on the tackle. Track and field guy, shot put, discus. Big guy, 5'11", 225. Those numbers on the screen that you see for Brady Drogosh are eye-popping. He accounted for 4 of the 5 first-half touchdowns for the Pilots. Drogosh keeps again, runs right and finds room. Setting up his blocks, getting into the open field, and into Trojan territory again. Burnham chased him down from behind.
You want a sure sign that you're comfortable, the game's going the way you want as a quarterback. You watch this. He pulls it, it's outside. He uses his speed. He's got a blocker in front. He's got Elton McCullum. He's saying, you go get him. I'm going to keep running here. Go get him. That's it. And a great effort by Burnham running him down from behind. But that's when you're in command. When you can direct traffic as a runner, that's confidence. That's a junior. And he's just growing in leaps and bounds here today.
Ripped off another 43-yard run.
Yeah, you notice they're taking the play clock down under 5 each play as well.
Rozier tries to hurdle and somersault over a Trojan defender. Josh Klug brought him down. Traverse City Central and Warren De La Salle meeting in this Division II state championship game. Here's the path for the Pilots to the state title game at Ford Field today. They beat U of D Jesuit 3 times this year. Just a kind of odd quirk of the schedule. Grosse Pointe South, Roseville, and Livonia Franklin, the victims for the Pilots on their road to the state title game.
I'm amazed to watch this defense as someone is able to hang 20 points on them. You don't know, maybe they came late or something, but we're talking so much about this offense. Their defense has been really good.
False start. Offense, 75. 5-yard penalty. Main second down.
I mean, look, And when you evaluate the teams that De La Salle has beaten on their road to this state title game, when you play a team 3 times in a year, that is very, very impressive, especially a Catholic League rival like U of D Jesuit. Grosse Pointe South has excellent talent, so does Roseville. And Livonia Franklin was one of the stories of the playoffs, a team that was under 500 in the regular season, made it all the way to the state semifinals. Gosh, run it again, and Klug tripped him up. Josh Klug has been very impressively for the Trojans defensively today. It's his 9th tackle.
Yeah, he's only a junior, Josh, 6 foot 185. He'll be back next year. I got a feeling, you know, they use him as kind of a rover. They move him around a little bit. Next year, I got to believe he's going to put on a little bit of weight and be one of those inside linebackers that's going to have to help replace number 8, Josh Burnham.
Go 2-5, make a play.
3rd and long for the Pilots. They haven't been in this spot a lot today. Drogosh, time to throw, down the middle, incomplete, open for Janacek. All right, so it's 4th down, 13 for De La Salle at their 34-yard line of Traverse City Central. The longest field goal this year for the Pilots is 32 yards.
You're going to watch right here. Right before the snap, you're going to see Janacek. He kind of widens, so he gives himself more room to run the post inside. We talked about how you shrink down sometimes when you want to run the corner or run the fade going away. If you know you have an inside route, you kind of cheat, try to get an extra yard or so, which opens up that natural gap between the safety and the corner, and gives your quarterback a better hole to throw into.
Drogosh pumps, hangs onto the ball, throws deep, and a man's wide open. In and out of the hands of Alton McCullum. He was too wide open.
You know, as a quarterback and a receiver, sometimes those are the most difficult. When you have a guy running that wide open, but Brady Drogosh did his job. He got the ball to him. It's just McCullum couldn't handle the other end, and he was wide open. He's going to waltz in the end zone. It's a really nice job. Drogosh bought time. McCullum kept working. Quarterback scrambles to you. You go away. He finds him. It just can't quite close the deal.
The good news for Alton McCullum is he does have a touchdown in this game, so all is not lost. And off, right into the D-line of De La Salle. Klug on the carry, and it was going nowhere.
Okay, you're going to watch. When you don't respect the pass, all your defensive linemen can just work in the gaps, work up the field. You don't have to set the edge. You can move the edge. They're coming so hard up outside that the outside run game for Traverse City can't even get going because the purple shirts are already there.
Burnham, rolling away from pressure. There's a flag behind the play, and he's brought down again.
Well, you're going to see Burnham, when he steps up in the pocket, you're going to get a holding call.
Holding. Offense, number 5. That penalty's declined. Brings up 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and long after more pressure from the Pilots.
Well, Josh tries it by himself sometime, and right there, can you get a number there? I see the hold. Good number on the defensive lineman. I think that might have been Mason Moragan.
Pressure's coming from every angle today. Here it comes again. Burnham intercepted. Jamari Allen out of bounds near the 15. The first interception of the season for Jamari Allen.
Well, Jamari Allen is in good position. He makes a good play in the ball. The ball is thrown behind the intended receiver that time, and that was Grant Schmidt. And Allen does a good job of being there. If it is a good throw, he's going to have a chance to rip and strip. But since the ball was thrown behind, he jumps it, and then Josh Burnham now he's playing defense from offense quickly.
Second time that De La Salle has picked off Burnham. That smile for Jamari tells the story. And the Pilots into the red zone again. Rozier trudging his way along the right side of the line, gaining a few yards on first down. Keenan Warner brings him down, guy who's been Big North All-Conference the last couple of years, committed to Saginaw Valley State, plays hoops, throws shot put, does a little bit of everything for the Trojans athletic program. The last time that Traverse City was here was '88. They were Traverse City High. De Niro Johnson on the run. Number 2 does a nice job of camouflaging his way amidst the big bodies of the O-line and D-line. And De La Salle is going to have a third down and short.
Third down and 1.
Drogosh running left, leaning forward, and De La Salle has first and goal. Pilots haven't scored yet in the second half. Drogosh accounted for 4 of the 5 touchdowns in the first half. Told you about that 4.5 40 he can run. More impressive, he has a 4.1 GPA.
That's true.
De Niro Johnson leaps in the air. He wanted that touchdown in the state title game, but he's going to have to wait to play.
It is, but, you know, hats off to Coach Sugar. He's got his team still playing hard in the second half. As you said, De La Salle hasn't scored a point. They hung 34 in the first half, but they've been battling. Johnson decides to go airborne, but you got to be careful that who's waiting for you. I think that's number 8, Josh Burnham, comes in and cleans it up. The thing about going airborne is you lose all your strength and momentum behind you. There's no drive left. Like I said about Coach Sugar, he's got his kids still really playing hard, competing.
Right back to Johnson, and this time he's in. De Niro Johnson, touchdown. This senior, playing in his final game for De La Salle, has a touchdown in the state title game.
Well, good for De Niro Johnson. This is just inside zone, I believe. Everyone's just blocking straight ahead. He finds a crease. He gets in there, do a nice job. The linemen all just get up, get on their man, try to create a natural seam and have Johnson find it. And that time it's kind of good not to. Ooh, that was actually pretty close. They might take a look at this. This is a reviewable play, a scoring play. It's 34-0. He might be buzzing. Yeah.
Previous play of a touchdown is under review.
Remember, we do have the ability to review and replay in the state finals here at Ford Field. Scoring plays, potential scoring plays, turnovers, potential turnovers, eligible for review. This checks that box. So let's get a look here. Did De Niro Johnson get in the end zone?
Well, this is one view. We have I think we might have a better view than this. Knee is down. Now it's hard to tell where the ball is. We got another. I think we have one a little bit more from the side. Ball's not there yet. Knee looks down. That looks like it's probably about on a maybe 1.5, 2 foot line. I don't think he's in. Now, oh, this may even be the best look right here.
Remember, it has to be indisputable video evidence. I think he's short, but I've been wrong before. All right, let's get the verdict.
The call on the field is being reversed. The runner was short of the goal line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line. It will be third down.
What do you think, Rob? They going back to De Niro Johnson? I feel like you have to.
Yeah, I think you want to feed the senior in this situation. He's been part of your program. You want to give him an opportunity to get in the end zone, and he was close last time. That offensive line has really done a nice job. We haven't talked much about Mixon and Dobbs and Schaefer and Pankoto, Featherstone and Griswack. They've really done a good job. We gave the defensive line some love, but that offensive line, you know, they're not small. They're 310, 235, 240, 240, 260. So they got some big bodies up there getting some push.
Those big bodies got the push. This time, Johnson is in. Third time's the charm.
Straight ahead zone again. A good push in the interior by Traverse City Central, but just nothing there. And De Niro Johnson's going to celebrate a little bit. And with the conversion, it's going to be a 41-point game. And that brings us into the second half when you get a 35-point lead into the running clock, the 35-point running clock rule, which we will discuss here in a bit.
Before we get there, Brady Lowe's got to make the extra point. He did miss one earlier in the game after a 15-yard personal foul penalty on De La Salle. He didn't miss that one. These are the moments you live for. De Niro Johnson, in his last game as a De La Salle Pilot, has got a touchdown in the state championship game. Those De La Salle students are about ready to celebrate another state championship. There's been a few in football in recent years. Dan Roan and his De La Salle Pilots have put on just a masterpiece performance today. Remember, now that the score is 41-0, we have the running clock rule. When a team is up by 35 or more points in the second half, clock is going to keep running, except when there's an injury, a timeout, or a penalty, or after someone scores.
Or a change of possession, yep.
Did we get everything?
I think we did.
Check all the boxes. Cody Cummins will kick off again. Bordeaux and Williams back deep. De La Salle wants to make sure that there isn't any funny business on the return. They squib it. Bordeaux does have a chance to return, and he's not going to reach the 30. Let's go down to Brooke.
What's great about these championship games sometimes is that you run into some alum. And I'm here with defensive end for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mike Dana, who happens to be a former pilot himself, graduated in 2015 and was on that 2014 championship team. Well, Mike, first off, welcome home. How does it feel to be back here in Michigan and watch your Pilots hopefully take home another championship?
It feels great. You know, this is home and it's electric here, and the boys is handling business, so it makes it even better. So it's good to be back, and, you know, it's perfect timing.
Yeah, you were telling me these kids are like your brothers out there. You went to the practice yesterday. What sort of message did you tell them before coming into this game?
Just, you know, to enjoy the moment. You know, only a few amount of teams make it to this point, and to make it to this point obviously shows your work throughout the year. And tell them boys to leave it all out on the field. You don't get it back, so, you know, do what you do and, you know, play for your brothers and handle business, get the dub.
Get the dub, I like it. When you were here in 2014, what do you remember most about that game?
Just winning by the blowout like this one. Like, it's 41-0. Ours was like 44-0, so the blowout for sure is, you know, what I remember. But also just being with my brothers, celebrating with my friends and family, all that good stuff. I remember all that like it was yesterday, so.
Well, real quick, before I send it back upstairs, you went to CMU, you finished your career at U of M. Big game tomorrow. Take it on Ohio State. Can I get a bold prediction? What score are we thinking?
I got 30-27, Big Blue.
All right, go Blue. Big Blue. All right. Evan, Rob, you heard it here.
Big Blue. Right on.
I mean, who in the world is he going to pick? There's no way in the world he can pick the team from Columbus, Ohio. Come on now. There's a lot of Michigan fans across the state who just heard Mike Dana say the Wolverines are going to win, and very happy to hear that. Pilot fans across the state watching are happy to see this score after 3 quarters of football. Warren De La Salle, a team that has won multiple state championships within the last decade. They are on the verge of another. Traverse City Central and Josh Burnham have been nullified by Brady Drogosh and a swarming Pilot defense. The fourth quarter is next. Drogosh and the De La Salle Pilots have been playing the game of their lives. 41-0 Pilots as we start the fourth quarter at Ford Field in the Division II state championship game. Evan Stockton, Rob Rubick, Brooke Fletcher down on the sidelines. Producer Brian Henry in the truck. Our director Ice doing a great job today. Burnham will punt it away as he's had to do much of the afternoon. Punt gonna roll and bounce and stop at the 15-yard line. And in case you're wondering, I don't know correctly how to pronounce Mark's last name, so we're just going to call him Ice like we always do and call it a day. Mark Isofano, that has been confirmed. That's what I thought. Thank goodness I'm not losing things. All right, so we already heard from Mike Dana, current Kansas City Chief, former Michigan Wolverine and De La Salle Pilot today. We got another former NFLer in the house, Rob. Mark Campbell on the sidelines for the Pilots.
Yeah, it's obviously highly intelligent, being a former tight end. You besides the quarterback, smartest guy in the field. You have to know the run blocking, pass blocking, all the routes, all the coverages. People don't give tight ends enough credit, but it's nice to see Mark getting back in the community. Working there he is. He realizes he's on camera now. He's been trained now. He was in the NFL, so you do get trained in finding that camera.
All right, so Brady Drogosh's day is done. We get to see the senior quarterback. Number 10, Jack Hall, takes some snaps for De La Salle. Let's start with a give. That's Seth Ray, another senior. This is where it gets cool, right, Rob? Yes, it's unfortunate that from Traverse City Central side of things, this is not a game anymore, right? But both teams are going to have seniors in their final moments and get to make some memories in a state championship game.
Absolutely. It's, Jack Hall, obviously he's paid his dues coming up, and it's no fault of his that he has a really talented younger quarterback that's following him in the class, and that happens. And I'm sure Jack is looking right now and really looking at this opportunity as something that this is his season. This is his chance to get in there in a state championship game and do something.
You probably noticed that Jack's not a small guy. He's 6'6", 210. Smart guy, too. 3.8 GPA. Third and 5 for the Pilots. Big reason why the score is the way it is. They have been converting on third downs all afternoon. Give to Ray. Running forward for a yard. It's going to be fourth down. Conrad Dobreff on the tackle. Another former Michigan Wolverine is his dad, Dave Dobreff. Played for the Wolverines. Conrad is a very smart guy. 4.3 GPA. Josh Burnham is no slouch himself. That's a future member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Could this be the first punt of the day? I'm just thinking, have I seen De La Salle punt today?
We have not said Michael Bucci's name yet, so yes.
Michael Bucci. First punt of the day for the Pilots.
Michael's the president of the student council at De La Salle. His first punt of the day. Checks up a little bit, which was not what they wanted. Traverse City Central will have excellent starting field position. Trojans trying to get on the board for the first time in this Division II state final.
Back at Ford Field, where the Pilots of De La Salle lead Traverse City Central 41-0. But it wasn't always doom and gloom, Evan, for Traverse City. Before they split schools in 1988, they took on Detroit Catholic Central and came away with a W at the Pontiac Silverdome. This was even before I started calling games. They won 24-14, so the city of Traverse City had something to celebrate. And that school got so big. They were pushing, I think, 3,500 or 4,000 students was the reason they finally had to make two schools in Traverse City West. The other one, but Coach Sugars, nothing to be ashamed of here today. His kids have played extremely tough and hard. They just ran against a better team. And the Pilots executed and made plays the entire first half.
The junior Reed Seabase gets loose. He hits the turbo button, and Traverse City Central, for the first time today, is inside the red zone.
Well, it's something positive for the offense now. De La Salle, obviously, you can see out here a lot of different bodies, new bodies in there defensively. that Coach Roan is rotating, and I really respect that he's giving these kids a chance to play in Traverse City Central, trying to take advantage of it. And that's going to be a penalty on Traverse City. I think that's going to be illegal motion.
All right, let's get another look.
Dead ball, false start.
At this 39-yard run from Reed Seabase.
Well, I think this is what Coach Sugar has envisioned coming into this game. They'd be able to do this, but against the starting group, De La Salle, too much penetration at that point of attack. They were pushing the line of scrimmage into the backfield. That lane that you just saw, which was so well blocked by that offense on, hasn't been there the entire day.
Trojans trying to get on the board. Right back in the hands of Seabase. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Just about. Going to be second down. Rob, you brought up the split for Traverse City High School, Central and West. We had the chance earlier this year on Football Fridays to head up to Traverse City and see that excellent game between Central and West.
Beautiful stadium.
Yeah, a ton of people at that one. Patriot game battle won by the Trojans. I believe Brooke Fletcher hit a drum during that game, if I remember correctly. Hit the drum multiple times.
There's no foul on the play. We're 12 men on the field.
And there you have it. Trojan offense with another snap. Give. On a Seabase on this drive. It's been a good decision. Another great run for the junior running back. Down to the sidelines we go. Brooks got more.
Yeah, Evan, you were talking about the Patriot game, and it's an annual rivalry game between Traverse City Central and Traverse City West that's dedicated to those who have served in the military. The game consisted of honoring local veterans like you see there, but leading up to that game throughout the week, they sold t-shirts, raising money for a veteran charity.
Josh Burnham gets a touchdown in the state championship game. One more touchdown in a legendary career at Traverse City Central.
Well, Traverse City Central is able to avoid the goose egg. And this is just, you know, quarterback power. You pull the guard, kick out with the running back, and Burnham just runs in the end zone. And it's not what they expected. I thought Coach Sugar believed that he'd have a lot more than 7 points on the board before the fourth quarter.
Noise tax in the PAT. Burnham runs for one more touchdown, the 29th of the season. And Traverse City Central is on the board at Ford Field. 6.5 to go in the Division II state championship game. De La Salle and Dan Roan are on the verge of another celebration at Ford Field. The Pilots have made a habit of this. This would be their third Division II state championship in the last 5 years. And believe it or not, Rob, it's hard to believe this with how good De La Salle has been over the last decade and a half. This would be the first undefeated season in school history.
Yeah, but you have to remember, for a lot of the history of De La Salle, you also had Brother Rice, who used to be a factor, you know, in the football playoffs in Detroit Catholic Central. These were two teams that every year almost were getting to the finals in Division I, Division II, Division III, whatever. So it was tough for De La Salle because they were the smaller school in the Catholic League, but yet now they've become really the power in the last few years coming out of the Catholic League.
Are you trying to get hate mail from Brother Rice alums? He used to be a factor?
Well, TJ Lang's listening up there somewhere, so I'm going to get hate mail from TJ. But yeah, I'm just saying, you disagree with me?
No.
It's been a few years since we've seen Rice here, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, it has. And
it's been a few years since we've seen St. Mary's, Catholic Central, the other schools in the Central Division.
Yep, it has.
I mean, Dan Roan, we can't say enough and speak enough about the type of coach he is. He goes from one program on the west side of Michigan, Grand Rapids West Catholic, 4 state championships. Now he comes to the east side of Detroit. He's made the state title game twice, and barring the greatest comeback in the history of high school football, he's about to win another state championship, his first with De La Salle and his 5th all time.
Let's see what Jack Hall can do here. I'd be surprised if Dan Roan puts it in the air on first or second down, but I have no problem if it's third down, let your quarterback who hasn't seen much action throw it.
Number 20, Michael Perry on the run. He is right into the waiting arms of Carson Bordeaux. Remember now, with a 34-point game, the running clock rules that we told you about earlier are still not in effect. Halfway through the fourth quarter. And a ball game that has been a coronation for De La Salle. They'll run Jack Hall, left side with a little bit of room. Squeaks his way across the 30 and sets up a third down.
This offensive line's done a really nice job in the zone blocking scheme. That's what they've run a lot of today. It's just inside zone where everyone just goes helmet on a helmet. And you can look there at some of the offensive linemen, and these aren't necessarily the starters that are in the game right now. So this is De La Salle's future. It looks pretty bright because they're still doing a good job creating some seams inside.
All right, let's see if Jack Hall, the senior quarterback, gets a chance to put one in the air here on 3rd down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Good decision. First down for the Pilots. It's Landon Bolesky on the run, number 27. 12-yard gain and moving the sticks. Coming up later today, Rob, we got a couple more outstanding matchups. You'll see Lansing Catholic and Warren Collegiate coming up at 4:30.
This is the one I just don't know a lot about. Warren Collegiate is kind of new to this playoff scene. Lansing Catholic, they've been there each and every year, it seems like, the Cougars, but I'm not sure about Collegiate. They've had some good wins in the playoffs, so that game really sparked some interest in me. I want to hurry up, get home so I can watch these games.
You could just stay here and watch the game, right?
My 4 children are home from around the country over Thanksgiving weekend. I will go home. I like football, but I also like being married, and I'm going home. But you can hang out here, Evan. You're 26 and you have the world wherever you want it. I know they have obligations as a father, as a grown-up person.
But you just admitted you're going to go home and watch the games, and that's
but my boys are going to watch football with my sons, and we're going to break down the broadcast team. We see how Dan Dickerson does and Justin Sassante in the next 2 games. How much better we were than them. That's what we're going to do.
I mean, you can tell them that. I'm not going to tell anything like that to them. It's a good run for the senior Jack Hall, who's trudging his way up to the Lion logo at midfield. Don't forget about that final game coming up tonight, right around 7:30. That's going to be a great game. Chelsea, Hudsonville Unity Christian here at Ford Field.
Yeah, and Shep will have the call. Matt Shepard, along with Johnny Wengler, former University of Michigan quarterback, who hopefully will be really happy tomorrow in the maize and blue and have the silver and scarlet come into Ann Arbor to the big house.
That game at the big house tomorrow is mildly important. Run left side, and Traverse City Central ready. Chauncey Shaw gets the carry, and Reed Seabase, going both ways, makes the tackle for the Trojans.
Number 5, Seabase on the tackle.
Congratulations once again to the first state champion of this weekend, the Hudson Tigers, beating the Beale City Aggies in the whale of a ball game in the Division VIII championship. This weekend, truly, Rob, we live for it. All of us at Bally Sports Detroit live for it. One of the best events that we can do all year long.
Yeah, and the positive feedback that the station gets and our bosses get about the high school football playoffs really make it worth your while to come and prep for these games and follow high school football throughout the course of the year, because the fans are very fervent about their high school football in Michigan. As we just saw on 4th down, Jack Hall trying to keep a little bit, but that starting unit defensively for Traverse City really still fighting as hard as they can. They're going to get the ball turned over on downs, and that offense comes back up. Yeah, it's excellent. People outstate, the Upper Peninsula, they just can't drive down to Ford Field in, upper northern Michigan and northern lower Michigan, down to southwest Michigan. It gives people all over the state an opportunity to watch high school football.
And it's been such a treat for us at Bally Sports Detroit all year to begin our Football Friday series. We did a great piece that aired at halftime of the Division VIII game. You can go find that on social media, on our Twitter page. about all the different places we went this year and all the cool opportunities and experiences we got to have. On the run with a lot of turf in front of him. And Traverse City Central is not going quietly. A big run for the junior. A 27-yard scamper. Halliday's been a starting defensive back for Traverse City Central all year. He's a junior, so he's coming back next year. Josh Burnham, the quarterback, will not be coming back. He hands off, and that play was blown up. Braxton Hill, another senior, tackled on the play. That time, it is Dalton Drogosh.
Well, Braxton Hill doesn't care who he's going against. Great penetration, gets into the backfield, makes the play. We talked about getting the runners before they can get going, and that time he does, and he grabs a hold of Braxton Hill, rather, got tackled. I'm sorry. That was 80. Whoop, help me out on who made the tackle there?
That was Drogosh.
Oh, younger Drogosh?
Yeah, Dalton.
Oh.
Josh Klug, the new quarterback for Traverse City Central, and he's loose. It's a Trojans touchdown. The future baseball star in Louisville, Josh Klug, is into the end zone, and Traverse City Central has one more touchdown in 2021.
Well, this gives you a little better feel good if you're a Traverse City Central fan or a player, because it's been pretty lopsided here the entire afternoon. And Klug was able to get it to the edge and just use his speed and get to the corner and get the touchdown. But ultimately here in a minute 28 seconds, it's going to be the pilots of LaSalle who are going to be celebrating.
Noyes, the kicker, is pointing out that someone else has to come on the field. They've got Burnham, the quarterback and linebacker, as the extra blocker on the right side on PAT, like the man hasn't worked hard enough. Noyes, the soccer star, knocks in the extra point. He's only missed one all year. All right, let's give you today Menard's big money moments and moments. You can pick a few for De La Salle with the way they played today. Brady Drogosh and Tristan Nichols were quite the connection today.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good duel the entire afternoon. They started early with some short stuff, and then they started stretching the field a little bit with some slants and some posts and some fade routes going to the corner. And it's just, Nichols created some space. Drogosh was able to deliver the ball. Traverse City Central had no answer for this duel today, and there's a good look at the young man who, in my opinion, I know we don't do the whole player of the game thing, but it's a no-brainer that number 12 would be the player of the game if we were actually voting for it. 142 yards passing. Look at the rushing yards and the total TDs. Come on, that's work.
I'll do the math for you. 316 total yards of offense today. That's decent.
Getting up there in the stratosphere with like a Mark Catlin, a Brady Rose, but the guys up front. I mean, we talked about Mixon and Dobbs and Schaefer and Pinkoto and Featherstone and Griswack. They just really did a good job. And I'm not sure how much we talked defensively, though, about Milky and Jazakaitis, Thamaris, rather, and Murrigan. They did a really nice job, too. Both sides of the ball. That's where this game was won and lost, in the trenches, early and often by the Pilots.
And Rob, when you get games like this, with the scoreline the way it is, I don't want it to be lost. What a tremendous season that Traverse City Central had. They have not played in a state championship game in the history of Traverse City Central High School. Now, Traverse City High School had been in the state championship game, but this is the best season they've had in over 3 decades. And today they ran into a team in De La Salle who, as we mentioned earlier, this may be the best overall team in the state of Michigan, regardless of division.
Well, they'll have a right to say they are after this performance. We'll see how the D1 teams do, and as well as the D3. I think the next 4 best teams, not just are in Division 1, but might be in Division 3 when you look at DeWitt and Martin Luther King.
It's going to be a whale of a ball game tomorrow night. Hope you can join us on Valley Sports for every single remaining state championship game. We'll have a couple more to come today. 4 and 6. Right now, the Pilots have a freshman quarterback in the game, Sante Gasparoni, who is hoping to play in a game like this as the starter sometime in the future. Everybody's still fighting hard, even with a few seconds left. There's the freshman QB. A guy who's hoping that in a year or two, he's on this field as the starting quarterback leading De La Salle to a state championship.
What a great motivator. I mean, if you're a freshman in the program and you say, man, that was fun. We got to go to Ford Field, play in front of a whole bunch of people. And you watch what the elder statesmen in your school did, the juniors and seniors, it does make you want to come back and do it again.
The freshman will run it one more time. And they'll keep the clock rolling and end this thing. The De La Salle dynasty will not end today. For the 4th time in the last 8 seasons, the Pilots are state champs. Down to the field we go. Brooke Fletcher standing by with the man of the moment, Brady Drogosh.
Brady, the motto for this season was leave no doubt. Here you guys are bringing a state championship back to De La Salle. Wow, describe the emotions you're feeling after a game like this.
This has been the craziest game of my life, especially after last year coming out with an L, this year coming out with a win, going undefeated. This is probably going to go down as the greatest moment of my entire life right now.
Yeah, this was the first undefeated season in school history. What do you think it was about this team that was able to do that?
We have a bond that's so great. We're like brothers out there. We're together on and off the field, and this has definitely been one of the greatest teams ever, and I think we can do it all again next year.
I mean, you were a monster today. Completely different player. The confidence that you were playing with. 174 rushing yards, accounted for 4 touchdowns. What sparked that confidence here today?
I know last year we came out a little nervous, especially me as a sophomore coming out a little nervous. I knew this year I had to change my mentality, and I knew that my brothers had my back behind me, and we knew what they were doing. We were prepared all week long. Scout team gave us great looks, and I just came out here and did my thing.
Yeah, this offense went off, but let's talk about this defense. Holding Traverse City Central to just 2 touchdowns. What made them so good today?
Defense has been great all year long. Josh Burnham over there is a great player, and they did their thing stopping him all game long, and I'm super proud of defense, super proud of Coach Bush, our D coordinator, and they're the best defense in the state.
All right, well, congratulations. Well-deserved. Go celebrate with your team. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Brooke, I mean, all the growth you need to know about Brady Drogosh was how he just handled himself in that interview. Last year, he was a sophomore quarterback, Rob, who was in a 2-quarterback rotation for the De La Salle Pilots. This year, it's his show. What a show he put on today.
Yeah, and I'm not a big believer in a lot of the cliches you hear that, he's matured, that he's confident and all that. But there's something. I mean, he played from the beginning like he was in charge. So whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it confidence, you want to call it mature, I don't care. All I know is that he was really good. And good players make good plays, and that's how you win. And De La Salle had a lot of good players to me, making a lot of good plays.
Thanks so much for joining us from Ford Field for Divisions 8 and 2 today. Don't forget, we got 6 and 4 coming up later this afternoon and evening. The final, De La Salle, champs again, 41-14. They beat Traverse City Central. Coming up, the D6 final, Lansing Catholic and Warren Michigan Collegiate. For Brooke Fletcher, producer Brian Henry, director Mark Isofano, and Rob Rubik, I'm Evan Stockton, saying so long from Ford Field. Have a great rest of your Friday. Come on back and join us for more today.